Hello, I'm Sarah, and tonight on News Xstream, we're tracking major moves out of Europe as the European Union offers a dramatic olive branch to the United States, hoping to cool tensions in a trade war that's already shaking global markets. Standing alongside Norway's Prime Minister, European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen made a bold offer: 0 for 0 tariffs on industrial goods between the EU and the US, a last-ditch attempt to avoid a full-blown trade war. Her message was clear: Europe is ready to deal. The EU wants to eliminate tariffs on key industrial goods, cars, chemicals, pharmaceuticals, you name it. But will the US bite? Let's check out this clip. This isn't the...
Nonetheless, we stand ready to negotiate with the United States. Indeed, we have offered 0 for 0 tariffs for industrial goods, as we have successfully done with many other trading partners, because Europe is always ready for a good deal, so we keep it on the table. But we are also prepared to respond through countermeasures and defend our interests. And in addition, we will also protect ourselves against indirect effects through trade diversion. And for this purpose, we will set up an import surveillance task force. We will work with industry to make sure we have the necessary evidence base for our policy measures, and we will stay in very close contact to minimize effects of our actions on each other. Today and tomorrow, I continue my intense outreach to the industrial stakeholders in the European Union. I met with the steel and aluminium industry this morning, as well as Business Europe and SME United. I'm meeting the automotive industry still today and the pharmaceutical industry tomorrow morning. We're discussing the response to the United States, but also the other two pillars of our strategy. The one is strengthening our single market, so getting rid of remaining barriers. And the other pillar is diversifying our trade relations, specifically further diversifying our trade relations is very critical for us because this broadens the market opportunities and is crucial for our companies. So we will focus like a laser beam on the 83% of global trade that is beyond the United States, vast opportunities. And this is why we're deepening our relations with our trading partners. You know the deals that we've done with Mexico, Mercosur, and Switzerland. We're working on India, Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, and many others. By that, we want to be very clear Europe stands together for our businesses and with our businesses for all Europeans in the European Union and beyond. Thank you very much.
Thank you, President. Prime Minister.
Thank you, Madam President. Thank you, Ursula. It's been good to catch up. We have been meeting and talking, I think, almost every week in the last months. There has been Ukraine, where we are so aligned, working together. There has also been developments since November, leading up to what we have seen in recent weeks coming out of tariffs decided by the US, announced by the US, where we need to understand and decode exactly where they are heading. And I take comfort from the fact that we belong to the same European internal market. Last year, we celebrated 30 years of the EEA agreement. For Norway, Europe is by far our most important trading partner. 70% of our export goes to this internal market. And we will do everything to contribute to the integrity of the internal market and follow you carefully as you respond to this unpredictable environment created by the tariffs. And we will stay, as we have agreed, very much in touch so that we can avoid disturbances and turbulence amongst ourselves, because Norway is an important provider of goods and services and energy to Europe, and we would like to maintain it that way. That is a mutual benefit. So thank you for confirming this and agreeing to have the structures in place to really monitor the effects of this unpredictable situation created by the US tariffs. Then I'd also like to say that on Ukraine, we have been able to announce today that Norway will contribute about 4 billion Norwegian crowns to this ambition of securing enough artillery ammunition for Ukraine's self-defense, and thereby contributing an important part of the European Union's ambition, I think about 10% of what the EU has set as a target, and also participating fully in the new programs on military industry cooperation that is emerging. Norway has leading companies for historic reasons and for, some fine technological reasons. And these companies will be, part of the effort to strengthen Europe's self-reliance on defense in the coming months and years. And also as we head to the next NATO summit in The Hague. We took also stock of other progress that we are making in our cooperation on secure connectivity, on health cooperation, and in other areas where the European Union and Norway have a good and established dialogue. And I really appreciate, Madam President, that you take care and are attentive and so knowledgeable this relationship. That is a good sign for us, and we really share your ambition of having a united European approach to this quite unstable world as we face it today.
Thank
President.
The first time zero tariffs have been on the table. Nearly a decade ago, the US and EU were close to a similar deal under the Transatlantic Trade and Investment Partnership, or TTIP, but it collapsed when Donald Trump pulled the plug during his first term. Let's look at this other clip, and now he's doubled down, hitting the EU and other partners with a fresh wave of 20% tariffs, raising US trade barriers to levels not seen in over a century. The result? Financial chaos. Trillions of dollars and euros were wiped out. European stocks just endured their worst day since the early days of the COVID-19 pandemic. But even in the storm, the EU says it's keeping calm and carrying on, at least for now. Let's check out this clip. "We stand ready to negotiate with the US," von der Leyen said, making it clear that while they want peace, Europe is not afraid to fight back. If diplomacy fails, she warned, countermeasures are on the table. Currently, the EU imposes just a 1.6% average tariff on U.S. industrial products, but American cars still face a 10% charge, making the auto industry a prime flashpoint. EU Trade Commissioner Maroš Šefčovič later confirmed that the zero-for-zero deal could cover all industrial goods, everything from autos and chemicals to medical equipment and machinery. Let's look at this clip. Back in Brussels, the EU's 27 trade ministers met on Monday to prepare for all possibilities. Šefčovič says a robust list of counter tariffs is already drawn up, ready to go if Trump refuses to negotiate. So what happens next? Europe has made its move. A deal is on the table. The question now is whether the US will respond with diplomacy or dig in for another round of economic combat. For News Xstream, I'm Sarah. Stay tuned as we continue to monitor this evolving standoff and its ripple effects across the global economy.